Shalom, I'm Rabbi Michael Panitz of Temple Israel of Norfolk, Virginia. I'm speaking to you from the pulpit of the congregation, and it is one day after the conclusion of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Hence, the title of my message, After Forgiveness, Paying It Forward. After forgiveness, paying it forward. What's the right thing to do right after you've been forgiven? Of course, there are several good answers to this question based on who is forgiving you and what they are forgiving you for. If the one forgiving you is a loved one, you probably have your own vocabulary of relationship restorers. If the one forgiving you is a friend, the same applies within other limits. But what if God is the one forgiving you? What is the right thing to do immediately after that? Let's dispose quickly of the wrong thing to do. Only the self-centered person regards being forgiven as a license to continue the behavior that required forgiveness in the first place. Alas, too many people are exactly that way. But one who's experienced genuine contrition and performed genuine repentance will have a sense of buoyancy because of the feeling of having been forgiven. It may well give that person the courage to forgive others, people who have wronged him, if they seek to reconcile with him. The elation that one who has been genuinely sorry for one's behavior will feel after receiving forgiveness can also generate a more general pay it forward position. Love your neighbor as yourself. And when you've been forgiven, your self-love gets a boost, which in turn can boost your ability to be proactive about caring for others, sensing their need and responding. All this gets us to the holiday right after Yom Kippur, the holiday of Sukkot. This holiday, which in origin was a harvest festival, starts only 5 days after the intense fasting and praying of the Day of Atonement. The connection is never stated in the Bible, but the implication is clear. When God forgives us, the harvest can be good. We tend to look at the world from within our scientific paradigm, and so we might resist the thought that our moral behavior affects the harvest. But clearly it does. It has become uncomfortably obvious that one of the most dangerous moral failings of our era is treating the world in an unsustainable fashion. That is, harming others directly as climate change disrupts lives on a worldwide scale, and it will hurt our children badly. How can we be apathetic about that? Let's stay local, though, and focus on the here and now. What do we need to do? We've just been forgiven on Yom Kippur. The harvest festival is coming up very soon. We need to build the Sukkah, a traditional booth in which we take our meals throughout the 7 days of the Sukkot holiday. The Sukkah is meant to be a place of hospitality. Traditionally, each household builds its own, modest or grand, as it can and wants to do. The booth is only a temporary structure. Even makeshift walls made of sheets will suffice. The main requiring is that the roofing be made of sechach, cut foliage, such as tree branches or bamboo poles. These minimal requirements put the sukkah within the reach of the individual household. The sukkah is not primarily associated with the synagogue, even though synagogues typically erect them. The commandment to build a sukkah is not fundamentally intended to be delegated to the synagogue. because we are supposed to take all of our meals in it throughout the 7-day holiday. Indeed, a week of al fresco dining makes this my favorite holiday of all the festivals of the Jewish year. Our synagogue Sukkah will have fulfilled its purpose best when we use it to take communal meals. This year we will be starting the Sukkot holiday with just such a communal meal this coming Friday, the first night of the holiday. We will gather in this sanctuary for worship at 5:30, and then when it concludes, we'll have a meal together. Thematically, with the notion of pay it forward, there is no cost to attend except to bring one or hopefully several cans of food to go to the local charity food pantry. This is our way of celebrating the community that the holiday of Sukkot is meant to foster. In the Bible, Sukkot is called the happiest of all the holidays. Shiva'at yamim tahog l'Adonai Elohecha b'makom asher yivchar Adonai ki yivarechecha Adonai Elohecha b'chol tevuatcha v'chol ma'aseh yadecha v'hayita ach sameach. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 15. You shall hold a festival for your God 7 days, etc., and you shall have nothing but joy. The Bible makes it clear in the 2 preceding verses, there is no doubt that this quality of undiminished joy stems from the sharing of the bounty. Chag HaSukkot ta'aselecha shiva'at yamim be'ospecha megornecha umeyikvecha v'samachta b'chagecha Ata uvincha uvitecha ve'abdecha ve'amatecha v'halevi v'hager v'hayatom v'ha'almana asher b'sha'arecha. After ingathering from your threshing floor and your vat, you shall hold the Feast of Booths for 7 days. You shall rejoice in your festival with your son and daughter, your male and female servant, the family of the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, the orphan, in your communities. Meals at harvest time. In every culture, this is the opportunity to show loving kindness by sharing food. This year, as a guest or as a host, let your Sukkot holiday be the spark for invigorating your willingness to share. I can tell you from my pastoral work, food insecurity is still a grave problem in our society. Please redouble your giving to food pantries and help feed the hungry. Our local Jewish family service has such a pantry, and our congregation, Temple Israel, is proud to be known as the most generous of its congregational partners in the effort to keep it stocked. Please, let the bounty of this happy holiday, happy because the harvest is in, happy because that in turn signals our forgiveness, let this become a blessing shared. Remember, a blessing hoarded is a blessing wasted. A blessing shared is a blessing properly used. Chag Sameach. Happy holiday.